Baby, listen closely, because what I'm about to share with you is not only dangerous, it's the kind of truth that could change everything between us. You might think you know me, you might believe you've seen every side of who I am, but there's a part of my life I've hidden so carefully that even you never saw the signs. And if this ever comes to light, it could send me to prison. You feel that heaviness in your chest right now. That's the same feeling I've been carrying for years. Every smile I gave you, every word of comfort, every promise of safety, all of it was wrapped around this secret I buried so deep. I told myself if I just kept it locked away, you'd never have to know. But the weight has grown too heavy, and tonight I can't pretend anymore. You'll ask yourself, what could possibly be so bad that I've risked everything to keep it hidden? Was it something violent, something stolen, something I never should have touched? And before you let your mind run too far, understand this, it wasn't greed, it wasn't hatred, it wasn't something I did out of cruelty, it was something I thought I had to do, something I thought was the only way to survive. Debbie. The truth is, one decision I made years ago is still haunting me, and if the wrong person finds out, I won't just lose you, I'll lose my freedom. Every knock on the door, every phone call from an unknown number, my heart stops, because I don't know if it's someone coming to finally drag me away. You've probably wondered why I never sleep peacefully, why I check the locks twice, why sometimes I go quiet when nothing seems wrong. It's because I live with this shadow every single day. But here's the part that will hurt the most. I didn't just hide it from the world. I hid it from you, even when you looked at me with those eyes that begged for honesty. I swallowed the truth. I told myself I was protecting you, but maybe I was just protecting myself from seeing disappointment on your face. Now I'm at the point where silence is no longer safer than speaking. The walls are closing in, the secret is too loud to keep, and my fear is that once I tell you, you'll never look at me the same again. So let me ask you, baby, if what I reveal really has the power to destroy the life we've built, would you still stand by me, or would you walk away before the fire touches you, too? Because what I'm hiding isn't small, and once I say it out loud, there's no taking it back. Baby, before I uncover the truth, let me warn you, once you hear this, you'll never be able to unhear it. I've kept this locked away, not because I wanted to lie to you, but because I knew the weight of it could crush everything we share. The first sign of my secret began years ago. Long before you and I found each other, I was caught in a moment where one wrong choice seemed easier than the right one. And I told myself it was just one decision to protect myself. Just one moment to keep life from falling apart. But here's the catch. When you do something you know is forbidden, it doesn't vanish. It stays. It grows. It waits. Every day I looked in the mirror and wondered if my reflection was still mine or if I had become someone else entirely. You might think I'm exaggerating, but tell me, baby, how do you measure guilt? Is it the sleepless nights? The way your chest tightens when someone asks an innocent question you can't answer honestly? Or is it that constant paranoia that one day everything will unravel in front of the people you love most? What if the person standing beside you every day wasn't as innocent as you thought? What if the one who held your hand in silence was carrying a shadow darker than you ever imagined? That's me. That's the truth. I've been hiding in plain sight. I remember the first time I almost told you. It was late at night. Your head resting on my shoulder, your voice soft, as you asked if there was anything I wasn't telling you. My throat burned with the urge to confess, but I swallowed it down, convincing myself that silence would keep you safe. And yet, here we are, with me finally speaking the words I should have told you long ago. Baby, The secret isn't just about what I did. It's about what it could still do. If the wrong people discover it, I'm gone. Not just for a week, not just for a season, but locked away behind walls you could never reach. And that thought alone terrifies me more than the punishment itself, because losing you would be the real prison. But let me be clear, I didn't hurt the innocent. I didn't take life. I didn't do something out of hatred. No, my crime was born out of desperation, and desperation can twist a person into someone they don't even recognize. So ask yourself again, baby. When I finally strip away the last layer of this secret, will you see me as a monster, or as someone who made a mistake too heavy to carry alone? Baby, lean in close, because what I'm about to share will make you question everything you thought you knew about me. It all started with money. Dirty money, money that didn't belong to me. I didn't steal it with a gun in my hand or a mask on my face. No, it was more subtle, more invisible, and in some ways more dangerous. One signature on the wrong paper, one transfer that wasn't mine to approve. At first I told myself I was borrowing it, just for a while, just until I could fix things. But baby, when you dip your hands into something forbidden, it leaves a stain that never washes out. Have you ever felt like your freedom hung by a single thread, and anyone could cut it at any moment? That's been me every single day since that night. The terrifying part, I didn't even use the money for myself. I didn't buy luxuries or chase greed. No, what I did was for someone I cared about, someone I couldn't let fall apart. But when the system sees numbers vanish, when banks and eyes of the law catch on, they don't care about good intentions. They see black and white, guilty or not. And now I live with this secret ticking inside me like a bomb. Every knock at the door makes my heart race. Every unknown number calling my phone makes me freeze. I imagine agents, officers, strangers waiting to drag me away, while you stand there, confused, betrayed, and broken. Baby, this isn't just my burden anymore, because you're tied to me. If they take me, what happens to you? What happens to us? That's why I've kept this hidden, why I've smiled when I wanted to scream, why I've acted calm while drowning inside. But I can't pretend anymore. You deserve the truth, even if it rips us apart. And the truth is this: if anyone uncovers what I did, the love we built won't be destroyed by distance or arguments. It'll be destroyed by iron bars and cold concrete. So now I ask you, before I reveal every last detail, would you still hold me, even if loving me meant standing beside someone who could lose everything in an instant? Baby, the deeper I go, the more dangerous this truth becomes. But you need to hear it, because if I disappear one day, you'll know why. That transfer I told you about, it wasn't a small mistake. It wasn't a few dollars slipping through unnoticed. It was hundreds of thousands. Money meant for something huge, something powerful. And when numbers like that vanish, people don't just shrug. They don't forgive. They hunt. You think prison is my biggest fear? No, baby. It's who that money truly belonged to. Because it wasn't just a bank. It was tied to people who don't forgive betrayal. People whose idea of punishment goes beyond cold steel bars. Every day, I walk like a ghost through my own life, smiling, laughing, acting normal, while shadows trail me. I see them, the black cars parked too long, the strangers watching a little too closely, the emails that vanish before I can read them. Someone knows, baby. Someone is waiting. And I can't sleep. Every night I lie awake, listening for footsteps outside the door, wondering if tonight is the night the knock comes, and it won't be the law, it'll be worse. Because at least prison has rules. At least prison has an end, but with them there are no rules, no mercy. I kept this from you, not because I didn't trust you, but because I didn't want you to carry this fear inside you. But look at me. I'm cracking. I can't hold it anymore. You see it in my eyes, don't you? That haunted look, that flicker of panic when the phone rings, that way my hand lingers on yours like it could be the last time. Baby, what I'm telling you now, it could be the very reason they come after me faster. Just by knowing you're part of this story. And that terrifies me. Because if they can't get to me, they'll find another way. And you, my everything, you're the only weakness they need. So here's my question. Would you run with me if I asked? Would you drop everything, disappear with me into the unknown before the walls close in? Or would you stay and watch the storm swallow me whole? Baby, listen carefully. Because what I'm about to share isn't just a fear anymore, it's becoming real. The storm I warned you about, it's already circling closer, and I can feel it pressing against every breath I take. It started small, just whispers, little signs that I tried to ignore, a car that followed me a mile too long, a phone call that hung up the second I answered, a man's shadow on the street that matched my steps, then disappeared when I turned. At first I told myself I was imagining it. Paranoia, right? But then, it wasn't just me. You noticed too, didn't you? The way I've been checking the locks 3 times before bed. The way I sit up at night with the lights low, pretending to scroll my phone while I'm actually watching the window. And last night, that was the moment I knew it wasn't in my head. Someone slipped something under the door. No words. No threats, just a black card. Blank on one side, a single number on the other. Baby, that number wasn't a phone line. It was a countdown, 24 hours. That's it. They didn't need to say anything else. The message was clear. They're done watching. They're ready to act. Can you feel the weight of that? Because I do. Every sound now feels like the start of the end. Every knock makes my blood run cold. And yet, here I am, telling you all of this, because if I don't, the silence will destroy me before they ever get the chance. This isn't just about me going to prison anymore. That would almost be simple, compared to this. What's chasing me now? They don't want me alive inside a cell. They want me erased, forgotten, buried where no one asks questions. And if they can't get to me directly, baby, they'll go after what I care about most. That's you. That's why I've been holding this secret back for so long. Because the moment you knew, you became part of their game. I hate myself for dragging you into this, but at the same time, I couldn't hold it alone any longer. You deserve to know why my eyes are heavy, why my smile has cracks, why I grip your hand like it's the only thing keeping me on this earth. Because it is. Now the question we face. What do we do? Do we run? Do we vanish before the countdown hits 0? I've thought about it, baby. Packing just enough to leave no trail. Taking the back roads. Slipping into the world where no one knows our names. But every plan I make, I see holes. They're watching too closely. Too carefully. One mistake, and they'll find us faster than the law ever could. Yet, staying feels like walking willingly into a trap. I can hear it, baby, the ticking. Not of a clock, but of fate. And I can't escape it without you. Alone, I'm already lost. With you, maybe, just maybe, I still have a chance. So I'm begging you, don't let go of me now. I know this truth could destroy us. I know it could shatter everything we've built. But if I lose you before they even take me, I'm already finished. You're the last good thing I have, the only piece of light left in this darkness. Baby, would you stand by me, even if the whole world calls me guilty? Even if the future looks like nothing but running, hiding, fighting shadows? Because I promise you this. If you stay, I'll fight harder than I've ever fought. For us. For love. For one more chance at tomorrow. Baby, the countdown has started. I thought I could handle it. But now, every hour that passes feels heavier, louder, like a clock that won't stop screaming in my head. I look at you, and I want to pretend it's just another day, but it's not. We're running out of time, and they know it. Last night, I couldn't sleep. I lay there staring at the ceiling, listening to the silence, waiting for it to break. Then I heard it. A soft scrape against the window. Not loud, not violent, just enough to remind me that someone was out there, watching. I didn't wake you, baby, because what would I even say? That our room isn't safe anymore, that the shadows outside aren't just shadows. When I checked this morning, I found something tucked under the windshield of the car. A folded piece of paper. No words, just a picture. A picture of us taken from across the street while we were laughing together on the porch just a few days ago. That means they've been closer than I realized. They've been right here breathing the same air as us, and we didn't even know. Baby, that's when I understood. This isn't just about prison anymore. This is a game, and we're the pieces. They're not waiting for the law, they're waiting for fear to break us first. They want to see me crumble, confess, fall apart, and they'll use you to make sure I do. I can't let that happen. I won't. But here's the part that scares me most. I can't fight them with fists, or with rage, or even with words. They're too smart, too patient, too ruthless. The only way we survive this is together, holding tighter, standing stronger than the pressure that's trying to tear us apart. Do you remember when I told you once that the hardest battles aren't outside? They're inside. That's where I am now. Fighting my own guilt, my own fear, my own desperation to protect you, when I don't even know if I can. I keep thinking if you walk away now, maybe you'd be safe. Maybe they'd lose interest if you weren't by my side. But then I imagine life without you. And baby, that thought is worse than any prison cell. So here we are, the clock ticking down, the shadows closing in, and me pleading with you to believe in me one more time. To see past the fear, and remember who I am underneath it all. Because if you don't, I'm already gone, baby. I need to ask you something. If it came down to the last hour, if I had to choose between saving myself or saving you, what would you want me to do? Because I know my answer, but I need to hear yours.